What is going on, squad? We just finished up our first Isochain-Only challenge. 30 days of giving up the weights and doing only the isochain. I did this for one reason and one reason only. To see if one, I'd keep my gains, and two, develop any more lean muscle mass. And I got both. It worked. It did work. Now, before we dive into it, I want to let you guys know that it's not all about just a before and after. You guys will see that in a second. I have plenty of photos, but I also took my measurements. I have a body fat scale here, and I took all of that as well. I wanted to make sure I covered every freaking base for the squad. All right, so I'm so excited. Let's get into this, okay? All right, guys, so this is the Tanita scale, the Ironman class. It shows a lot of things like weight, body fat, water. Let me see if I can get closer to it. Muscle, physique rating, BMR, basal metabolic rate, metabolic age, bone density, and visceral fat. If you're ever wondering where to get that, I have a link in my description box on where you can get it. So that is there down below. I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic tracking tool. Like I said, I'm a tracker. Speaking of tracker, here's how obsessed I am with this thing. All right, so I have some numbers from earlier in the year, but that's not important. What is important are these black ones here. So you see this? These are the numbers from when I started. So it's September 1st of this year. All right, so the official start date was the 5th, but I wanted to take it right beforehand so you guys can see exactly what I have going on here. So 173.8 is what I started at. I was at 15.2% body fat, 57.6 for water. All right, and it shows the ranges here. So I was healthy for water. All right, my muscle mass was about 140. My physique rating was 5, and it's not linear. You're in columns based off your body type. So I was right in the middle. My BMR was 1945. That's your basal metabolic rate. How many calories you burn at rest. My metabolic age was 20, and my bone mass was 7.2, and my visceral fat, the fat that's around your internal organs, was 4. Let me show you guys what happened mid-month, because that really it pissed me off mid-month. I missed a week. That was stupid. So I did it on the 21st, right? So the 21st is 9/21, so literally 20 days later. I didn't even get halfway through. All right, so I'm still at 173, weighing exactly the same, 173. My body fat went up. It went up to 15.9. Dude, I was pissed, okay? 57.2. My muscle mass went down, 138.8. So my body weight stayed the same, but my muscle mass went down. And my body fat went up. Though you never want that to happen. So I was beyond pissed here. Look, my metabolic age went up to 22, 7.2, and 4. So I'm like, what the hell? You know, I've been consistent the whole time. So like, what is going on? Like, my cardio wasn't changing. I wanted to keep things as consistent as possible the whole time. All I did, all right, I need you guys to see this for a second. All I did the last 10 days is I took a single jog around the neighborhood. The jog was not even 7 minutes. It was like 6 minutes and some freaking change. I couldn't even finish my normal YouTube videos that I watch. All right, so I just put my headphones on. I just go for a jog, whatever. I didn't even get through the freaking video. That's how short the jog was. My first week, it was just once. The next week I did it twice, and the third week was 3 times. So wow, 21 minutes total for the entire week of just doing cardio. There is just no way it made this much of a difference, and I really don't think that it did. All right, I don't think that it could make as much difference as what you're about to see, because the last weigh-in definitely made a difference. It definitely changed everything up. Check this out. All right, so I weighed in a pound heavier, 173.8 to 174, but check this out. My body fat went down to 13.3. 13.3, that's awesome. All right, 58.3 for body water, 143.6 for muscle mass. Physique rating is 5, so it went up 5 pounds of lean muscle mass. 1930, 1988 for BMR. Metabolic age went from 22, so it increased and dropped drastically to 16. The bone mass went up to 7.4, and the visceral fat went down to 3. So here's what I think happened. Now, I could be wrong. I totally could be wrong, but I want to try and dissect this as much as possible. What I think happened was, remember, in the day 15 update, I said that I was dealing with 2 injuries. The one was my right arm here. So I was dealing with a little bit of tendonitis from being stupid doing one arm pull-ups before the challenge. The other one was my lower back. All right, so those two things were like killing me. It kind of limited my lower body potential with the lower back injury, and it kind of messed with my upper body with the tendonitis. Not to mention the fact that I was still working off that wrist injury from the beginning, right? Because remember, I messed up my left wrist doing I messed up my right wrist doing that stupid ass shoulder press on TikTok. And so my shoulder press, you can see the numbers, they're really low. Some of my pulls were really low, and I knew I was capable of more, but I'm like, yo, it's still sprained, so I couldn't really do anything. But I ended up healing. What helped me was, I also want to show you guys this. Let me walk over here and show you. I was working up my way on these Captains of Crush grippers, and so I was like, my grip was kind of so I had to work my way back up. So now I'm on 2.5. I don't know if you guys can see that. This really helped. I have the Captains of Crush 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So I started at 1.5 because I was there already, then worked up to 2 and 2.5, and I really helped with helping out my wrist strength and just healing it. Obviously I couldn't go right into 2.5. All right, I'm rambling. Anyway, all right, so my wrist started to heal, and you guys are gonna see the numbers in a second. The numbers from day 1 to day 15 that I have upstairs, I'm gonna show y'all. Those numbers went up. Initially, I couldn't really rip into the iso chain that well because of those stupid ass injuries. That's why I think not much changed in the beginning here. That's why I think that it kind of went down a little bit, because like the injuries were plaguing me. I was trying, don't get me wrong, I was trying, but I could only do so much without that freaking pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? It hurt. All right, but after a while, things started to heal up, and that's why I was really starting to able to rip. And you can see in the numbers, like the numbers really started to hit hard. Now, I had that one screw up right in the middle where my back started hurting really, really, really bad. That was like right around the day 15. You can see the numbers just go whoop. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, man. And this is like, I had already committed to the challenge, so it's like, what am I gonna do? I committed to it, and no, sometimes I feel like, dang, yo, like y'all could have such a better example right now. All you got is this 31 back blown out, you know what I mean? But it's whatever, you know. Personally, without getting too much into it, you know, it's about mindset. I don't care if I gotta crawl. I don't care. I'm gonna finish my shit. If I can't run, walk. And if I can't walk, I'm gonna crawl. But I will finish it. I don't care. All right, so, and I did. So we went up about, what, 30-something% in the first 15 days. So now I want to show you guys what happened the back half of it. But that's what happened with my body composition. Now check out my measurements. I did my measurements too. I love this. Check it out. All right, so September 1st, my neck measurements was 15, went to 16. The only reason I think that happened, honestly, is because of those freaking shrugs. Now, I never did shrugs this much before, because I was doing 6x6 every other day was upper body. Every other day. So I'm like, I guess I underestimated the amount of size that I would get in my neck. All right, and it doesn't even look like that much in the before and after, because I did these measurements multiple times. I didn't just do it once and just took it. I took them multiple times. All right, my arms actually went down a ½ inch, so they were both 14.5. So now they're 14s. I was kind of pissed off about that, but it's whatever. My chest with my arms up and down, 43, 49. They stayed the same, 43, 49. My thighs, though, guys, yo, I was so hyped. So I took two measurements. The one is above the knee thigh measurement, and I took a thigh measurement like mid thigh. So above the knee, so I took it right here, and the mid thigh. All right, check this out. It went from 14 and 14.5 to 16s on both. Yo, I was so hyped. You don't understand. Like, my legs have always been a pain in the ass. They were never weak. They're just strong without really showing it, and it pisses me off. My freaking genetics, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, back to the results. All right, so I was really happy about that. That is actually something that you can see in these photos here. So I'm gonna start to show you guys the photos. The thighs mid, all right, 21.5, 22, so it went up ½ an inch mid thigh. And I'm like, yo, them Austin squats was killing me, yo, in a good way, obviously. That on top of Bulgarian split squat left and right, and the Zercher squats, all them freaking squats, you think they're not gonna make a difference? Yo, they were on point, y'all, on point. I was so hyped. Now my calves stayed the same. You know what? As long as they didn't regress, because they were less before. All right, so 14s. My goal is to get them to 16s and then just kind of chill. So here's something I didn't expect. So my waist, I took these multiple times. My waist went up to 29, and my hips went from 31 to 30. How does that even make sense? I don't know. Like, all I could think of was my glutes were getting really like tight, but my waist went up. Like, I was doing abs the whole time. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, here's the photos here. I'm gonna show you guys the photos now. You can see that, like, in the waist area, everything seemed to get tighter, so I still don't understand how it went up. I'm pretty happy with these results. Like, everything was pretty solid. I did not expect those above the knee measurements. I did not expect it to go up 1.5 inches. It takes a lot to get an inch. Haha, no jokes. All right. It takes a lot to get an inch, and I know the struggle, so that was unusual. I wasn't expecting that much of an increase with just Isochain. I thought that at most I was gonna break even, if anything, gain 1/4 inch, but to gain a freaking 1.5 inches, yo, that was wild. So I am very happy about that, guys. I don't even know how to hold this right now, but all right. So we got the measurements down. You guys have seen the photos. All right. Again, I am about as no bullshit as y'all gonna see on YouTube. All right. Like, I'm not playing. Like, I'm transparent. Ask me questions in the comments. Seriously, ask me. All right. So now we get to see the numbers and the increases in strength. So this is one of my favorite parts. This is probably my second favorite down here, but the numbers, yo. It's all about the numbers, man. Let's check it out. All right, guys. So we got the numbers from our upper body and lower body, all of them, all 15 upper body and all 15 lower body. Because it's a lot of text and it's a lot of small numbers, I'm gonna run you through the basics. I have the lowest number and the highest number and the personal high for each one, because the personal high didn't happen on the last day. Personal highs happen on odd days. And don't forget, like, right in the middle is when my back really started bothering me. As you can see, I couldn't even do some of these, and the numbers are less. So I had to do less, and then I had to recover midway through the freaking challenge, which sucked. But, you know, we did what we could. The overhead press numbers, I'm trying to like zoom in without it like getting blurry like that. You can see that the numbers are 147 and this is like 117. Now my right wrist was messed up, so like I said, I couldn't really push into it because it like physically hurt, not in a good way, like a freaking you're injured way. The front raise though, how did that happen? I was usually pulling like 80 some, so and I was like ripping with everything I had. It was like 60s, like the bicep curl low. I mean, the front raise didn't really have much to do with my wrist, so I don't know, maybe I was just babying it, cortical inhibition, all that stuff. Bicep curl, wrist, so it was low, way lower than normal. Chest press, I did the bull worker for 1 day because I was gonna do the bull worker as my chest exercise, and I decided not to because yeah, so those are actually bull worker numbers, of which I pulled a 105, which was pretty impressive. But I did max the whole thing out. I really wish I had recorded that, but I wasn't really focusing on that, so I didn't really care that much. But yeah, that was cool. Okay, the reverse curl. Normally I'm pulling in the twos, and I'll show you guys that in a second, but I couldn't, you know, that's wrist. I have dinosaur arms when I do the reverse curl, so I couldn't really do that. Skull crusher, really low here, so I'm just like, okay, like 105s and then, you know, 100s. And the shrugs were low for me too. Like, I was hitting 5s before, guys, so I'm just like, what happened here? Maybe it's because I had stopped doing the 3x6 and I was just doing like a lighter version of everything, and maybe my stuff went down, maybe my frequency was just off. I don't know. Could have been my wrist, sure, you know, I'm not trying to give myself excuses here. Row, I knew that was off because sometimes if I pull with the row, it hurts my lower back, even though I'm focusing on the upper back. So those are my numbers. At the end of all this, I'm going to show you guys on the screen the lower and highest numbers. Now, I'm sure you guys noticed this, these spots where it says pain, just the pain was too great. What was that, the chest? Yeah, I mean, that was when I had the wicked elbow tendonitis in my right arm, and I was just physically unable to do it. One of those days, like I said in the day 15 video, I was laid up for an hour and a half on that couch right there, pushing it and trying to be like, oh man, I got this, bro, I got this, you know, being all big-headed. And my body was like, you better sit your ass down. For like 90 minutes, I could not move. My arm, my elbow was ringing. Like, I don't even... that shit hurt. All right, so I had to recover from that. So there are some days where I just couldn't do 6. I had to do like 3. I think there was a couple where I just had like 1 or something. Yeah, like right here I had to do like 1 because the pain was too great. what's the point if you're just destroying yourself? So I was like, all right, man. I didn't want to do it. You know, I'm like, dude, I'm in the challenge, but I had to just relax. But I hit some freaking high numbers here. I don't know. I mean, 229 for the reverse curl. What was that, day 4? And I really, I didn't hit that again. I mean, like the whole way through, like right near the end is where the momentum started to take off. Right around like the day 12, day 13. Well, I guess it was like day 24, day 25, because this is the 13th upper body. It started to accelerate. But I mean, it still wasn't like that. I mean, I don't know what happened that day. Maybe I was pissed off or something. I don't know. But the numbers, they were climbing. It was really climbing. It was really climbing. And then right around here is when I noticed a drop off, and it was so annoying. So when you guys see the number breakdown, I'll have day 1, day 15, and day 30, and record highs. So you guys can literally see everything. Because I noticed it's just really small text. I'm just trying to cover the main points here. As you can see, like, you can see like the pain starting to go away, because the more you see 6x6, the less pain I had. So I was building up, hurt, and then I had to recover, and then I started to get it back, and then the momentum kicked in at the end. Had I not had to deal with this stupid shit the whole time, I would have loved to see what my numbers were. I mean, they would have been high, guys. So let's go to the lower body, because there were some things of note here. The lower body was pretty smooth, and I think that's part of why I went up as much in inches as I did, because I didn't have that much holding me back. The only exercises where I had to really watch it were the deadlift, because of my back. Like, that one day I had to just, like, it was just like, no. And then a couple days later I had it again. I'm just like, dude, I just cannot. So I just had to really be careful. There were 6 days during the challenge where I missed. So started September 5th, so I ended October 11th. So it's October 14th as this recording, so I ended up 3 days ago. I'm somewhat happy with these numbers. I was surprised with the Austin squat, honestly, for most of them. I don't know, I guess the progression to me just didn't make any sense, because I was doing pretty good here. Like, I really got high here around like, what, 287 was a record high for me. And then, what does that say? Morning, no breakfast. Oh yeah, okay, I was trying to give myself an excuse here. That's what happened. Had some more back pain, left myself little nose just to let, but I mean, it was slowly increasing. The Austin squat doesn't really have any back recruitment, so it was just straight up gains the whole time. I had this one weird day. Oh my god, it was so annoying. Day 12, yes. Yo, all my numbers took a L. My sleep was okay, everything was good, but the numbers were just so bad, like for no reason. It really pissed me off. But then it bounced right back. Like, I was in like the high 100s, low 200s, then it went right back. In fact, breaking a record at 303 for my Austin squat. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, I'm gonna put the numbers up. And I hit a record high of 314. I hit that shit twice on the last day. The seated calf raise, I had a interesting moment a little over halfway where I thought I pulled my freaking calf, because I felt like a little pop when I pushed. And that was one of the times I got like, there it is, yep, just 526. When I pushed that 526, I was like, ooh, you know, so I had to like look at my calf, because it like it felt like it like moved up a little bit, but it didn't. I mean, it's fine, and that's fine too. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I just kept on pushing, hitting a record high of 567 on the seated calf raise. Yo, I was like, what the fuck? Yo, so I'm sorry, it keeps on, it's blurry. I know that's really annoying. I know if I were a viewer, that'd be really annoying, sorry. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty solid, you know, so it's like pretty much the general progression was building, bullshit, building, record highs. Some, not all on the last day, but you could start to see like the numbers consistently being high, which is what I wanted here, not here. If I didn't have to deal with this, I know it probably sounds like a broken record and excuses, but it is what it is. I had to deal with what I had to deal with. Deadlift, like I said, it was touch and go. I did hit this yeah, oh my god, 556. Now here's the thing, when I hit that 556, I was feeling right that day, yo. I had to hit a freaking 549 earlier, and I'm like, yo, I'm feeling right, yo. But then maybe it's a coincidence, maybe I pulled too hard and I released the total body tension technique, because my back hurt the next day. So I'm thinking maybe it was because I did that deadlift. The launch phase was perfect. It's not like I jerked into the deadlift. I don't know, I just dealt with it. I'm not gonna, like, whatever, I'm not gonna be a little bitch about it. All right, the RDL, Another one I gotta be careful about because it's pretty much hamstring and lower back directly. So let's start, of course, the numbers for RDL are gonna be lower than dead. And they were. Not much progress on that. I feel like it would have been. I hit a 415 midway through. Yeah, 415 right there. Did I hit 400 again? I don't think I did. I really don't. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I hit like high threes. Like my last day, I hit 371 and 367. I hit 367 twice. Oh no, here's another one. 381. That was another good day. But yeah, I only hit that 400 once, and maybe that's because that. Yeah, and that was the day right before my back too. So maybe those two in contribution hurt. I don't know. But yeah, because you can see like, oh my god, so it went all the way down to 177 because I was just like babying it. Okay, Bulgarian split squat. Guys, this is going to be its own video. Like, these exercises, after doing this for 30 days, I'm sorry, like, Austin squat's good. I think that these are the best leg exercises that you can freaking do on the iso chain. I really find it difficult to beat. I mean, best bang for buck, them exercises are good. Yo, they're freaking good. Now, going through, my left leg is weaker than my right leg. It's literally been the case the whole time. I don't know if that's because of leftover residuals from my knee injury, because this one is the one that always hurt. This one was like that weird pain, but this is the one where I was just like, do I have to do surgery or no, last year? But yeah, I mean, it's always been kind of lagging behind. So it's usually been about 20 pounds lighter. At the end though, I felt like it was starting to catch up. I was hitting in the threes for the first time, but it was like sparingly. I'm sure that continuing, it'll start to consistently be in the threes, but I was starting to touch threes. You can notice the 200 starting to get higher. The freaking right leg was on fire though. What? I hit a high ass number on that. Where? Was it the last day? Yes, 333. I hit a 333 on my right leg for split squat right. I was like, yo. And yo, for real, like my leg feeling juicy, yo. Like, I don't know, it's just, I'm liking how they feel right now. I'm liking, it just feels solid. I mean, it was always there, the strength was always there, but now it just like feels solid. I don't know, I just flicked my leg. How about that? That's weird, isn't it? Zercher squat. Now, there's another one where I had to be careful the back. I think, yeah, around day 9, I put back. Zercher squat's been pretty good. Now, before, like last year, I was hitting in the 4s, I hit 5s. One time I hit a 6 for a Zercher squat, and I don't know if maybe it was just all that pressure without the right technique, and I was just ripping into it without any type of iso tension or total body tension, which is what contributed to my back hurting in November. So it could have been just shit form. I don't have the answer. So, but essentially my Zercher squat has fell down a lot. So we're starting in like the low 200s to like kind of early 3s, but by the end of it, check it out, I'm hitting like 400s. I hit 400s for literally every single lift at the end of it, with the high being 431, freaking light right there. Can you see that? Okay, 431. So not bad. It's been a struggle with the Zercher squat because it's like some days I'm like, yo, my legs are ready to go, but my back isn't, and then my back is okay that day, but my legs are just like, eh. I'm just like, dude, can I just get a break? Like I said, if I didn't have to deal with this stuff, I really feel like it'd be more consistent, and like the trend upward wouldn't be like this, it'd be like whoop, you know. So the standing calf raise, I'm starting not to like this one that much because I found that the seated calf raise is superior because it's so direct. You can see the number in your lap as you're pushing. The only thing that sucks is that the bar is just getting driven into your freaking thigh the harder you push, but I don't care, whatever, man. I'll take some bruises. I know some of y'all don't feel like that, and I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. You can put some towels in between. I have a client, she puts a towel in between. So the standing calf raise, I realized after day 3, yep, I put a little line there to change the chain link from 9 to 10. I also changed the Austin squat from chain link 1 to 2. I don't know if you can see that I wrote 2 over 1 there. But yeah, so the numbers went down a little bit, but then they started to climb back up. But these ones I really feel like I didn't make too much progress on. Maybe it's just a slow gainer, like the shoulder front raise. Yeah, 429 all the way up to, what was I hit? I was hitting 5s at the end consistently, and I hit 5s. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, yeah, so I hit 5s around like the 13th day of legs. Oh my god, it's like I had to, the thing was splitting apart from using it so much. I think that's a 503 is the high. I'm sorry, it's so blurry. I think it's a 503 right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of like, yeah, 503. But like high 4s. So it's like mid 4s to high 4s, low 5s. So okay. So when I do the percentage increase, I'm only gonna start from day 4 because these 3 are inaccurate as it's a different chain link and that changes up the entire percentage. I am gonna do the same thing for Austin squat chain link 2. I started that day 6. Now let's check out these numbers. So percentage increases are all right. I mean, I feel like it could have been better, you know. I mean, I think that it's pretty interesting to see these numbers on the screen because personally, like I said earlier downstairs, it's only been a month of Isochain-Only training now. I feel like if 2 factors were in place, 1, I had no stupid ass injuries, and 2, that I kept the chain link the same for all of it, that it would be a slightly different video. But I mean, it's not bad. Now, had I continued doing this, like let's say I did a 90-day challenge, please don't. I don't want to do that, guy. I really don't. I was in weight. Y'all have no idea. I was in weightlifting withdrawal like the whole time. Like I really wanted to lift, yo. Like that ass. I wanted to lift. Right around like day 10, I'm like, I want to lift weights, you know. So I'm like, dude, just go hard into your iso chain, man. I'm like, I know, but I want to lift things up and put them down. Like my soul hurts. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun. Now let's talk about muscle stabilization because I really feel like that took a hit. Because essentially, I'm not doing any lifting, so my muscle stabilizers are gone. Like I'm totally like focusing on total body tension, stiffening up my body. Where are the stabilizers at? They're not there. I'm just focusing on 100% maximal tension. Today's day 4 of lifting. All right, it's Thursday. The iso chain challenge ended 4 days ago. Bench felt weird. The strength was good, but the bench felt like my arms were like not wobbly, like I'm a newbie, but it just felt odd, you know, like I don't know, it just didn't feel normal. Though my leg day was solid. Like my leg day was solid. My stabilizers were just fine doing squats. I know I said I wouldn't do squats, right? I know I said that. You caught me. And I did RDLs too. I only did it just to see how that would feel. I was actually totally fine. No problems, no knee issues, still good. Knee is propped up on the table. Just fine. I mean, I was totally fine. My biceps, I felt that was a little odd. I'll tell you what I did notice though. I felt like I noticed a decrease in my shoulder strength, which doesn't make sense because my shoulder strength, actually, you know what? Wow. Yeah. TikTok episode, I was pushing like 240 something on the overhead press from the bottommost position. And at the end of the challenge, my high was 230 with the rest of them being like low 200s. So, but remember, like my first overhead press was like 147 with my jacked up wrist from the bullshit. So I mean, it's not great, it's not good, but I did notice a decrease in my weightlifting shoulder. So maybe that's why, and it's not really, you know, something big. It'll come back, you know, it's whatever. It's not like you just lose everything. Let's see. Yeah, so the muscle stabilization was all over the place. Doing shoulders, doing the Arnold presses, I felt that it was like not too wobbly, not like bench, but, and when I say wobbly, guys, I don't mean it's like a 10 out of 10. I'm all, like I said a couple minutes ago, I mean it's like wobbly enough where you notice that it's there and you have to mentally keep your shit stable, where before I was so used to it and my muscle stabilizers were so on point, I don't really have to think. It's on autopilot and it just goes up by itself. You know what I'm saying? So I did notice a slight decrease in muscle stabilization, but not so much where it's just like, oh, you know, like other than the muscle stabilization, I'd really call this a success. I'd call this a total win. My legs got the most out of it because I didn't have a wrist injury, I didn't have an elbow injury and to deal with lower body wise, and I didn't have a tendonitis in my 3 main things up there, so versus just my lower back. So I was able to rip. I feel like I got a lot out of my lower body, so much so that I have decided that the lower body exercise from this challenge, I've decided to keep this as my second leg day. It has been so effective. I've loved the experience and I feel that it's something that's worth my time. So much so that I'm going to give up my second weightlifting leg day in exchange for a 6x6 Isochain-Only leg day as my second leg day. I'm totally confident in it, especially with the other Isochain program that I'm gonna use outside of it, which I'm gonna do the other days. That's another video. I'm super excited for this. I think I've shown you guys a lot of information here, photos, data, information, percentages, strength increases. Yeah, man, it was great. I loved it. I wanted to lift weights, but I knew that I was getting results out of it. The first day I finished my leg day, I stumbled down the stairs into the sunroom there. I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, this is different, dang. But I never did a leg day 6x6 that intense before. So I was like, oh, you know, it's okay if it's gonna be like this, and I'm super excited. So am I gonna do this again in the future? Yeah, but way later in the future. I mean, I just want to lift right now, yo. I want to use the Isochain in addition to weightlifting. Like, I feel like for me and my body type, if you're a weightlifter and you use the Isochain in conjunction, it just gives you such a huge advantage over somebody that just weightlifting. I'm sorry, like the numbers, I'm a logic and numbers guy. I don't really do emotion like that. I mean, yes, but no. The numbers have shown it. I just spent an entire month doing just that, and I'm like it's the move. I'm even more so now than I was before. I mean, that's all I really got to say, but I think I've rambled on enough. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment. And if you're not yet part of No Limit Squad, hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. We'll see you next video. Peace.